Thermodynamics is based on the observation of commonalities.
Yes.
So is Quran. But Quran has preceded thermodynamics. Quran has been there since 1441 years. Everybody can laugh. Yes, I can laugh about whatever the other scriptures say. I can laugh about what the, but the fact remains that much more is there in the commonality.
Okay, here's another table you want to look at if you want to know the beliefs of all the geniuses. It's called Atheism
The
Types by
Zoroastrians are
Denial.
saying the same thing.
What?
Right?
It's called
And so are the others.
Atheism Types by Denial and Belief. So it solves all the top 20 geniuses, and it shows it's a scale from atheism to deists to believers to theists, and there's kind of a ranking. So you go through what Newton believed, what he didn't believe, and it's my beliefs are all listed out there. So it's the top. You have your top 10 beliefs, and so take a look at.
So you've made some of the Wikipedia articles as well. These resonate to the naming things as well. Huh?
Well, let's just take a look at this, because we asked about free will.
Yeah.
So these are all the main things you have to believe and don't believe. So free will is here. You've got whether you believe in God, Jesus, or in your case it could be Muhammad. You could switch this out. But in America it's pretty much Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe or don't believe in afterlife? Do you believe or not believe in life? Do you believe or not believe in soul? So on with spirit. And then do you believe in morals? Yes or no? Do you believe in purpose? Yes or no? Chance? Yes or no? Determinism? Yes or no? Free will? Yes or no? Dualism or monism?
Mm-hmm.
So these are all yes or no. And then over here you've got everybody ranked, all the geniuses. So here's Alfred Rogers. He's the, remember the video we watched yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Alfred Rogers? We watched the video of him talking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is what all the things he believes, because I had him fill out this whole table. And
So you don't believe in free will, right?
no.
And you don't believe in organic and inorganic.
That's just a divide between life and non-life. But you see, if you go down here, you've got all these guys believed in God. Parmenides, but then when you say God, you've actually got 12 different beliefs that God captures. So there you've got to break these all down apart, and then you actually see what's exactly you mean when you say you do or don't believe in Allah. Because there are maybe certain points that you did about the whole thing. But you can see for me, right here.
So you have just said, I don't believe in free will.
Okay, so I'll explain now.
So please explain that one.
Okay, so free will. Free will is determined by the ABC model. I don't know if we've covered this or not.
It's being recorded
You just turned it on or something?
already.
That
Recording.
should be good.
Yeah. So the
I thought we already looked at this.
what?
Did we look at this already, Mirza? You remember this?
No.
Have I showed you this one?
What?
Did we look at this already?
What?
Have we seen this?
Okay, you finish this.
Did you see this before? Have I shown you this? Okay, well anyways, this is my model. This is called Retinol. It's my model of how I understand free will. So here I am, and I'm in a bend configuration. Say I'm sitting on a chair looking at the sun or something like that. My feet are here, and then now light comes in, a photon with energy E, comes in through my carbon 11-12 bond right here, which I consider my brain, goes through my eyes, and this causes the electron to jump upwards. Then when the electron jumps upward, this bond becomes more fluid or unstable or whatever, and it causes my legs to jerk up like this. Like say I see like a rat or something running down the things, and I'm like, or a mouse or something. So I see the mouse, the light comes in, and I jerk my feet up like this. So you ask, do I have free will in this? Is there any choice on that whole thing? So the choice for me to lift my legs up was determined by this photon coming in my eye. So the input of the photon made the choice for me. But now this is just a simple brain like this. So when you get the bigger models, you get to more complicated things. So so we can talk about will, but it's more like a this is what Einstein believed. When anytime
what he wills.
Anytime
what he wills.
When anytime I asked Einstein if he believed in free will, he said, I believe what Schopenhauer believes. And Schopenhauer said this, he said, man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. And this is this whole essay Schopenhauer wrote on freedom of the will. So I believe this too. You can do what you will in the world, but you cannot will what you will.
I have a better way of doing this. I say that it is faith. And what is faith? Faith is doing this trick. And what is faith? Faith is a process of taking advantage of the metaphysical state, turning into the direction that you want. You have a firm mind in you, but that is not that is not faith. Faith is the believing in something, firm belief in something.
Yeah. Here's another one example that this comes from. This is one of the students of Goethe here, James Froude. He was the one that did the first translation of Goethe's Elective Affinity in English. And he actually lost his post at Oxford because he was a professor of moral philosophy. And he wrote this book on called Nemesis Faith, and they kicked him out. And they actually took his book and threw it in the fire at Oxford. And this is the last time any book's been burned in a public university in the Western world. And it was kind of because of Goethe and because of he wrote this book Nemesis of Faith. But he says down here that this could be the human is considered, the iron ball here is considered the human. Now, normally, you're going to be attracted to the iron's going to be attracted to the North Pole over here, right? But if external circumstances, you think there's freedom of the will, and he says, but if you heat the magnet over here, it changes the electron configurations, and now your will is changed based upon this external circumstances. So he says, the will of the man is determined as is the pull of a suspended iron rod to a stronger magnet. Similar to the views of Schopenhauer, according to which sin, as commonly understood, is a chimera. And at the diagram above, we see that how will can be changed by external factors. So you say, oh, I have free will, but what about this heat over here? Now, all of a sudden, you don't have free will because the heat changes this system, and your will has been changed based on this that you didn't have control over. So
I call that polarization. You don't have to have a magnet. Just observe that in the battery that I showed you yesterday.
Yeah, that's
it's polarization.
Yeah, that's
It's magnetization and demagnetization.
Yeah.
Heating is producing the demagnetized state.
So here you are up here at the bottom.
Turning the poles upside down.
Okay, well, let's say you're one of those electrons, you're a particle in the battery, and someone comes up, you say, oh, I have free will, I'm moving around this battery, I'll go where I want, but then somebody connects goes to let's say your battery's in your car, and they want to get their car started, they come over here, put the connectors on your battery, and all of a sudden, you're this little particle floating around, and shoop, you go over here, and you don't have any choice in the matter. and you say, oh, but it's dipole. What did you say? What was the word you said?
Polarization.
You say, polarization gives me free will. But then all of a sudden you're shooting over here, like, oh, what's going on? I'm over here at the battery, so I don't know. I don't know any free will inside the battery. But here's one.
You see how people invigorate a dying man? They give it a shock at the heart.
Mm-hmm.
The heart is getting demagnetized. It's the time of death when the heart is getting demagnetized.
We can actually go round and round in that.
Strong current.
I'll give you one quote from Goethe just to show you one alternative point of view on will.
No, I believe in. I absolutely believe that there is no free will. It is all actually. It is a written script that comes to us, and our responses are being checked. That's what I believe. I'm talking about Dr. Beg. I'm talking about the concept of taqdeer. So
The concept of
taqdeer, the destiny. So I believe that there is no free will. We actually act in a condition, and we normally take decisions, and those decisions are about in those decisions our intentions are involved, and those intentions are being checked. That's what I believe. Yes, please.
Here's the Mirza.
Goita.
Here, Mirza.
any kare.
What's up?
So here's my final quote on will. So the great Goethe, he says, he who is infirm in will can mold the world to himself. So he's one of these. This is Goethe's B, and his beliefs are strong. So maybe he doesn't have free will, but if his will is firm, for example, like a nucleus of maybe like iron or something, where the nucleus is strong, the other molecules around iron are going to be attracted to the will of the iron. They're going to be their other atoms are going to be molded. So Goethe that's why he's ranked himself up at #1 genius in the world, because he is firm in his will. He believes what he believes, and now 200 years later, our wills are being molded to his will, into your will. You wrote your book, Physico-Chemical Sociology, just like Goethe wrote his book, and now if you're firm in your will, then in the future, not all of my ideas will be correct. Not all of Goethe's ideas will be correct, but if you're strong on the main points, then the world will mold to you. But the will still isn't free. But some people have stronger will than other will, and that.
Yeah, you see,
I agree to you.
when he says that, there is a point missing, and that is the point of uncertainty. If he who is firm in will molds the world to himself. Alexander also said that. Napoleon also said that. He could mold it, but the element of uncertainty was there. What Napoleon did, he started drinking to his heart, damaged his liver. And then he was also poisoned by the arrow. He had the strong will to go and conquer India. He could not. He had the strongest will. He drove his army all the way up to the river Indus. But then the army was not with him. He had the will, but the army did not. Nobody can conquer the world unless he has the blessing from Allah. That uncertainty is always there. Goethe missed the point. And so did Alexander, and so did anybody who wanted to conquer India. Islam had all the force, yes, but Satan was also there. Gem affair. that killed the Muslims, Muslim intention to retain Spain and Europe. Toynbee himself says that the Arabs may have continued to rule Europe, but for one mistake, they tried to free Gem from the hold of the prince in Sicily.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their brigade, they lost their boats, they lost everything. 40 years, it took 40 years. And Europe was gone.
Mm-hmm.
It went out of hand.
No, that's the case.
The will of Allah has to be there. It is not the will of man. Moreover, you have to go by the laws stated in the Quran and restated in thermodynamics.
Yes. I think it's the book Quran. It is a manual of human thermodynamics.
अरे यार हम कौन होते हैं?
नहीं चाचा, I already had a discussion with you. No, I already had a discussion with you. This Surah Kahf, it explicitly says that no resource can be utilized. Like it actually rolls out, right? I already had a discussion with you on that. So there is a political force, and then there is knowledge, and then there is there is a part where power is discussed, money is discussed, economy, everything is discussed, and then there is knowledge part being challenged, that a prophet is
they are, I believe, in intuitions.
So here you said something wrong with Goethe's quote that he said, "He who is firm in will molds the world to himself." He said there is uncertainty. So this is what is called Holbach, Baron de Holbach in 1770, in his chapter of the laws of motion common to all beings of nature, of attraction and repulsion, of inert force, of necessity. He says the following right here. It's called the Holbach Geometrician. He says there's no uncertainty. Two examples will serve through the principle here laid down into light. One shall be taken from physics, the other from morals. In a whirlwind of dust raised by elemental force, confused as it appears to our eyes in the most frightful tempest, excited by contrary winds, when the waves roll high as mountains, there is not a single particle of dust or drop of water that has not been placed by chance. It has not a cause for occupying the place where it is found. That does not, in the most rigorous sense, the word act after the manner in which it ought to act. That is, according to its own peculiar essence, and that the beings from whom it receives this communicated force. So if a geometrician, highly intelligent, exactly knew the different energies act in each case, with the properties of the particles moved, it could demonstrate that after the cause given, each particle acted precisely, there's no uncertainty here, as it ought to act, and that it could not have acted otherwise. And then he goes down and talks about how this applies to political problems. So there's nothing about uncertainty here in his view. But given it, we in our small world here we don't have the above view to look at political reactions and say there's uncertainties, but if there was higher intelligence, there wouldn't be any uncertainty. You would see the whole, if you knew the energies of each, and the free energies of each particle, you could see the whole reaction, and action and reaction as he says here, without any uncertainties.
Moral worldview.
Moral worldview.
Yes, we have been talking about this moral worldview.
Do you guys think I can have one more diet Pepsi?
Quite a few instances have been quoted in the Quran about this moral worldview. Ad and Samud, the fellow Ad, he is supposed to have died because of the of so much of dust in his eyes. and that creates such a big nuisance in the body.
We don't need to read this one, it's more about the life, non-life stuff. That's just fun. So here's one here, let's see. This one was, so when I say there's conflict between the religion, you see the article here? This is an article from the 2002, 2013 article, Triple Bond Chemistry, it was published in Spain. And the article says the chemical formula of a human by Sterner and Elser. So he's over here, he's saying that this is atom, and this is God, and this is protein, and this is the creation of the first molecule. And so he's using the human molecular formula for let's see what you say about this.
Oh, your imagination, anybody's imagination can go wild. Imagination is after all imagination. And people are trying to get imagination into something reality.
Huh?
You know about this man, Kekulé,
Yeah,
how he got the benzene ring?
yeah. The snake, he bit the snake in his
No, he
mouth.
was observing the fire, the sparks in the fire.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
rising and one spark will swallow the other one. What is happening? He said. What is happening? He said. Why is it so swallowing? That means it's a ring. That means benzene is a ring.
I never heard that one
The ring is
before.
structure. Observation.
I heard that.
The observation has to be correctly. Everybody observes. Everybody observes. And interprets his observations. Religion directs it into certain way of thinking. But that is made to observe. Quran always says, لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Learn from these allegories. It doesn't say anything. It cites examples of the allegories.
Where did you learn this from?
तो ऐसे नहीं चलेगी हमारी बात को मजा नहीं आ रहा है हाँ भाई
I woke up early in the morning, went to school, taught children, then came back here.
Let's take a look at this. See if you say what you're talking about here. So you say Kekel learned about this from going to fire in his. Yeah, there's Kekel right there. You say you got this benzene ring from a fire. Looking at fire, I never heard that story before. Here's his first drawings of benzene right here. This one. Here's so then in 1865 he drew benzene like this. On the constitution of aromatic substances, he drew benzene like this. There was no circle. And then later, as far as I know, he said he dreamed up benzene by seeing a snake circling around and biting its tail. I don't remember anything about a fire, dancing around fire, but that's from your book.
Yeah,
Hey, look, you're already quoted in there. M.A. Kazi. Everywhere we turn, we find Mirza Big, huh? You're playing tricks with me with your mind. You're playing mind games on me, huh? I see. You bring up these stories so you can get more camera time. I see how this is.
And you are the one who knows it.
You see that he starts talking about Kekel, and he knows that I've already written an article. So he says, You know, Kekel did the snake, and now we're back looking at more Mirza fake quotes. Sneaky guy. You're a funny guy, man.
I said I have acknowledged Kekule in this article also. The article that you were reading.
Yeah. What about Kekel? Did he have mind-body split?
Hmm?
Mind-body split?
Mind-body.
Manufakat? Did Kekel have that? Kekel. Did Kekel have mind-body split?
Kekule.
Kekule. Did he have the split?
This mind-body split is polarization.
Did Kekel have that? Kekel.
Kekule, no, it's not. It's not Kekule.
Kekule. Did he have the Manufakit? Manufakit. But did he have the mind-body split? Was he a hypocrite?
He's a bearded man. That guy, I can't insult him.
All right, let's see what we got here then.
You know what? Much of these things that are produced in the Quran
Yeah.
are based on intuitions. And I am a firm believer in intuitions. Intuitions
Intuition?
in the case of dreams. Dreams are coming true. Everybody has some real dream. Everybody. यार यही तो मैं ख्वाब में देख रहा था.
Yeah.
हाँ
Here.
यही तो मैं ख्वाब में देख
We
रहा
gotta
था.
keep going. We're only on comment number 16. We've got to get to 160 in the next hour before time to go.
That's our.
Let's see. We're at comment 16. We've got 140 more comments to go. Personally, I do not.
I bet you can believe that Physico-Chemical get married. I chose for that. I said no. I'm with it. There is no either or. There is only one. You have said that so many times, quite a few times.
Which one? What did I
You're
say?
digressing.
Huh?
I don't like your digression. Why do you have to digress like that? No, you can't do it. you are so firm. and by being firm, you wanted to bury me dead.
I wanted to bring.
But I continued.
I was trying to bring you out of the water. I thought that you were drowning in the ocean. I wanted to bring you out.
You buried me, and then you dug me up.
No, I was trying to save you, and then I saw that it was a waste. It wasn't going to work. You are stuck in your anchors. You had your anchor in your boat.
Only in 6 years time.
Your boat was anchoring like this in the ocean. I was trying to get the anchor up so you could come sailing with me, but your anchor was stuck.
I'm glad it was not a very forceful spade that you were drinking.
Look at this living body.
So I was dug up alive.
Yeah, look at this. The living body was energized by Allah with a soul consisting of free energy and entropy. We talked about that already.
When you wrote to me in 2016 about the first conference perhaps.
Yeah.
That year.
GGG.
Why don't
GGG. Mirza Bay. Mirza.
Arshad.
Arshad.
Ali.
Arshad Ali Beg.
Name.